So today we have Lieutenant Colonel Romil Bartwal, who is a paratrooper in the Indian Army, and also he has climbed a Mount Everest and also a marathoner. So in this interview, we'll try to understand his whole journey from joining NDA to life in IMA and to various institutions like IIT Kharagpur, IIM Lucknow, and various adventures which he has done in his life. So welcome, sir.
Thank you so much, Akash. It's really honor to be here and share my journey. So I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, thank you, sir. So, sir, my first question to you would be, how was your journey into Indian Army?
So I passed out in 1994, my 12th. So during those times, not many options were there. Like, presently we have lots and lots of things which are there. There are a lot of indecision which takes place. But our times, defense was very, very close to my heart. I wanted to have something which I could contribute to the nation, contribute to fitness, and stay active, physically. So I wanted something which would give an adrenaline rush rather than just sitting in office or a corporate kind of a thing. So that was the reason I applied for NDA, and as luck would have it, my first attempt I cleared. Only thing was that I was an Air Force cadet, so I went for Varanasi AFSB. But then because until NDA I was an Air Force cadet, so the NDA they realized in one of the medicals that my leg length which was required for a fighter pilot, they said it's a bit less. So they said you choose between a Navy or Army. So I chose Army, and after that it's been IMA and Army only.
Okay, got it. So, how was your experience within the SSB? Like, how do you prepare? How was your experience there? Like, in terms of psychology, did the interviewing officer ask you some critical things? Performance in GTO? How was all about that?
Right. So in my case, I was a typical case of there was no one in the Army, Air Force, or Navy. So I went with my gut feeling, and I had only one thing in mind, which I've kept it always as my mantra. That I'll be as transparent and as open as I am. So I'll not hide anything, and I'll only. So I didn't do any coaching. I didn't interact with a lot of people. Only thing I went was, I'll have a good time. I'll be true to myself, and whatever I've done, I'll just simply say, these are the things I've done. I'll not cheat or try to fool anyone, because, that's not the point. If you're joining a profession which is totally into the spirit of, well-being, or, say such a pious profession. So I think that was the main thing in my mind, that whatever may happen, whether I get selected or fail, but then I'll give it my best and I'll be true to whatever I'm doing. So that was the key aim.
So based on that, sir, is there any suggestion or tips you want to give to aspirants, like how exactly they should prepare? Because currently there are a lot of coaching institutions, a lot of experts who give advices. How do we handle currently? Because there are a lot of information.
Very true. So that's a very good question, because these days a lot of students who are appearing, they contact me, and I've realized based on interaction, it's very, very competitive. A lot of people, they want to get into NDA or the IMA. So what I feel is, personally, you should see, a few things will not change ever. You've got to be true whatever you're doing. Don't try to outsmart the people who's interviewing you, because these people are, been doing this for so many years, very, very accomplished people. So don't try to feel you can fool them. Don't try to show off something which you are not. Because they can see you through, as we say. They can see you when you are faking it, when you are saying your original thing. So if you're not too flashy, if you present yourself the way you are, I think that will be a bottom line of everything for whatever NDA, IMA, or Army, Air Force, Navy, whatever you're doing. These essence is not going to change. The essence of being an officer in the defense forces. So that being a broad base, then you can build up. Then you can do lots of studies. What to anticipate, what will be on day 1, day 2, day 3, and then based on that prepare yourself. The only thing is be 100% sure and be confident, that what is going to happen. Then, because if you're confident, it will be showing in your body language, it will be showing in the answers you give. So you should get an impression that you are very well prepared for it. Because if you're not prepared, that means you're not serious in the kind of thing which you're doing. So that's very important.
So my next question would be, how was your life in the academy? It can be NDA and IMA. Do you have some memories which you would like to share with the audience?
See, there are lots and lots of memory because 4 years is very, very long time, you know. So NDA, I was in a squadron in the 1st battalion. So we had a lot of, I would not say punishments. The training was pretty tough and it's supposed to be tough, that everybody knows, everybody agrees. I had also prepared myself mentally, that whatever comes my way, I'll push myself, I'll be able to do it. But, there are a lot of times wherein you question yourself, is it really what you want, or will you be able to sustain this kind of a life? And I can tell you very clearly, last 26 years of my life, I've really cherished every moment of it. I've been there for 26 years. I've learned so many things. And, right from NDA, I would say after 10, 15 days of my NDA, I realized, it's going to be very, very tough because, as I said, I didn't have any background. I was not that physically trained like my other peers who are from sainik school, military school, RMT. So that was tough. But then there's a lot of support, from the seniors, from your postmates, and it's all, like a group. You stand together with whatever challenge you're facing. Like, for example, if I show my back to anyone, they'll be still feel very, very painful, the marks which are there on the back still after so many years. But then these are things which really make you mentally very, very tough. And these are things which really sail you through once you are in tough times because you have had difficult times during the training. So it's very important, and there are lots of such instances which would be there.
You graduated or got commissioned around 1998, right?
Exactly, December 98.
So once you got commissioned, Kargil war happened. So how was your experience back then?
I would say the whole purpose of any defense forces is to fight once you're involved. That's what you've been preparing whenever war is not there. Main aim of Army, Air Force, and Navy is to prepare for war. So, and you don't get an opportunity to be in actual war. Last war was 97. We've been having lots of, conflicts along the border or in J&K. But then this was the time when we actually were in war with our neighbors. So initially it was a surprise because I was in J&K at that time once this thing happened. But then it was a proud feeling that, that's what every Fauji aims for. That ek mauka mile ki you prove yourself, to your men, to yourself. Once the things were against you, you had the courage to face the enemy or fight it out and kill your demons inside. So this was very challenging, very different experience. And it was one experience which would always be there with me, till the time I die, that I participated. There were a lot of times wherein our post got under attack. We were, there was fire from rockets, there were fire from RT shells, and how we used to, like, a simple thing like whenever a shell gets fired at you, there's a whistling noise which comes. CT जैसी आवाज जो हम कहते हैं, because of the friend which is there behind. And the moment you used to hear it, and the sentries who used to blow a whistle, and we used to just get into the trenches to save ourselves, because the moment it lands, there's so many shrapnels, and it just blasts off, and there's a lot of casualties which can happen. But the drills and training was such that it was a memorable experience, and we were safe, most of the time.
Your journey in the Indian Army, you have gone to IIT Kharagpur as well. Now you're in IIM Lucknow. So how does this process happen? Is there some interview or there's a separate test that you give within Indian Army to get into these institutions? How does it work?
Right.
Basically?
So what happens, Army, Air Force, Navy, everybody is procuring a lot of equipment which is very, very technical, high-tech, So to operate them or to repair them in case of any problem which comes, and there needs to be suitably trained manpower, suitably trained people who are high-tech. So let's say I did my MTech in information technology. So 2 years I was there. There is a very, very rigorous process, because if you have to compete at IIT, you need to be at that threshold, then only you can do that. So what happens is they do a lot of pre-course training. Then you have a written exam. Then you have Viva. So at multiple levels you are tested, and then only you get selected for such a kind of a challenge.
Okay. Is there a certain number of seats that has to be occupied, or how is it?
Yeah, so definitely there's a lot of competition. Like the year I did 2010, there were just 2 vacancies at IIT Kharagpur for the information technology stream. So there were a lot of competition because, IIT, everybody would like to go and attend. But then it's all based on merit, whosoever is doing well in the entrance exams and all, they get the opportunity.
Okay.
So this was the whole process.
Okay. So your life as an army officer, how does one day look like? An ideal one day, in terms of routine, in terms of drills, or is there any roles and responsibility? How does it look like? One ideal day.
Right. Yeah. So just like any unit, our day starts with physical training in the morning. So morning we have 5:45. You would have a run and a physical training, be it roads, be it a lot of physical activities which take place. And after about 1 hour of exercise and all, we break off for our breakfast, getting ready for the office and all. Then we have an office time till about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 1:32, depending on the kind of work which is there. Then you come back, there's some maintenance parade, and after that you go for evening games, because that's what main leadership and all comes into play. Sports field and a lot of physical activities, preparing for various kind of events, competitions, that fighting spirit which is there, which keeps you alive. In between, a lot of training of troops, be it weapon drills, weapon training, be it physical training, or camping, those kind of things. At times you have night training also, so as to prepare yourself in case of war and also you have night trainings of various kinds which keep happening, and then you have mobilization, those kind of drills. So there are a lot of variations which keeps the atmosphere very active.
So still, since you're working in Indian Army and now you're getting a flavor of how the civil world is, if I ask you 3 important things that you have learned from Indian Army which you still cherish, what would be those 3 things?
That's a very good question, first of all. So, there are a lot of things. First 3, I would say, first is discipline.
Yeah.
Because that's what Army is all about, or for that matter, when I say Army, it's all about defense forces. So first and foremost, right from day 1 of India, they teach you discipline. And that, as we say, which stays even, you don't have to think about it. It is in your muscle memory, that discipline has to be there for whatever you're doing. It's not just punctuality. It's not about how you conduct yourself, but it comes in your blood. Whatever you have to do, that has to be in a disciplined manner. First is discipline, as I said. Second is that fighting spirit. Even if you fail at something, because in day-to-day routine also, it's not that whatever you're doing, you're successful in that. So you need to have that fighting spirit, that whatever failures you have, you keep fighting it out, right? And third important thing, which I feel everybody has in defense forces, is adaptability. Be whatever condition. Aaj yahan pe hain, within, sometime you get a posting, you go to a different location. Today you are in Siachen, tomorrow you will be in Kanyakumari. So be it different weather, different place, everything can change in a very short time. But then that adaptability keeps you going in whatever the conditions are. So these 3 things, apart from many others, are, I think, key.
Okay. Sir, I also know that you are a paratrooper, so you are a maroon beret. So how was your feeling when you jumped out of an aircraft? How was that feeling? Were you always that adventurous ever since academy?
Frankly, Akash, I will tell you, that was my dream to be a paratrooper, because that thing of adrenaline rush which you get is beyond comparison. Let me tell you, I've done Everest, I've done marathons, I've done ultras, I've done long distance cycling, Ironman. Nothing comes even close to paratrooping. Once you have a parachute, you're ready to jump. The door opens, and just the whole world and you, and there's no second thoughts. Just you have to jump, and that's why we call it that leap of faith. Parachute नहीं खोला तो क्या होगा, ये नहीं होगा. Then you don't have so many cobwebs in your mind कि क्या होगा. करना है तो करना है. And that feeling is totally different. There's something called tandem jump, wherein you tie with someone. A lot of people, they do it, but doing it all solo, everything on your own, it's a great feeling and very, very proud feeling, because then nothing else matters. It's only you with your own self. That is the real meaning of being a paratrooper.
Okay. Sir, when I look at your timeline, I see you always basically try to be out of your comfort zone, and that's where exactly the magic happens. So how do you keep pushing yourself outside your comfort zone? How do you do that?
There's a thing called, you should live a life not of regrets, but of stories. So this thing struck me close to 2010 when I was there. I was 34 years that time. And I realized, my life was not heading anywhere. क्या कर रहा हूँ, daily routine वही चल रहा है, always in comfort zone, happy life चल रही है, but then there's nothing which is my goal or any target which I'm chasing. So I should, by the time I go 60, 70, I should have a lot of stories. But ऐसा कुछ हो नहीं रहा. चाहता हूँ मैं, but चाहने से कुछ होता नहीं है. So that's how it happens. So I said, I'll have to push myself out of comfort zone, because comfort zone में रह के you'll not get stories, you'll only get regrets. उस time तो अच्छा लग रहा है, but then it's not going to happen. So that was the time I said, let me try for IIT Kharagpur. कुछ तो करना पड़ेगा. Because life अच्छी चल रही थी, everything was good. It's only that वो comfort वाली mentality was there. So that's why I said, and that decision has been a key pivot in my life. Everything has changed after that. So whatever adventure, whatever things I've done in my life has been after 2010. 2010 से 12 IIT खड़गपुर किया, उसके बाद long distance running किया, marathons किया, ultra marathon, cycling, everything has been after that. So call it midlife crisis, as some people call it in a fancy manner, 34 के बाद. But whatever you call it, that's been a great change in my life. Before that, I don't have anything great to write home about, but then after 34, I have immense stories, as I can say.
Okay. Sir, will you be able to explain some of your experience when you started climbing the Mount Everest? How was the whole feeling?
Okay.
To be on the top of the world.
Sure. So before Mount Everest, frankly, I didn't have any exposure to mountaineering. एक बार IMA से we had gone to an expedition in Uttarakhand called Mount Kedarodom. But उसमें क्या हुआ था? We were at summit camp. Avalanche आया. One of our buddies died. He was a medical assistant with us, and unfortunately he died. And that was my only exposure to mountains from 98. उसके 2018 तक I didn't climb anywhere. कुछ climbing नहीं था, कुछ नहीं था. But then, as I said, 2012 IIT Kharagpur के बाद my endurance journey started. Be it marathons, be it ultra marathon, be it cycling, long distance cycling, or be it half Ironman, sorry. तो जब मैं endurance वाली चीजें अच्छे कर रहा था, I got an opportunity to train the teams for ultra. There's a mountain triathlon army level पे होता है. So I trained my team, and luckily in whichever things I was entering, there was something good. जिस चीज में हाथ डाल रहा था, अच्छा ही रिजल्ट आ रहा था. So I was given this opportunity कि यार एवरेस्ट का एक एक्सपीडिशन जाना है. You've been doing well, so can you do it? And till that time I was only in the field of endurance, running वगैरह कर रहा था. So I said यार mountaineering का I'll not leave it. और एवरेस्ट का मौका तो who would say no, it's once in a lifetime opportunity. So I said yes, I'll do it. But then as I said, कुछ experience था नहीं. So I said, I have 1 year in my hand. जी जान के मेहनत करेंगे, बहुत भयंकर मेहनत करेंगे, so that once you are there on in Nepal for climbing, I should not have any doubt in my mind कि यार मैं कर पाऊंगा नहीं कर पाऊंगा. And as I said, I was the team leader of the team, so it's a responsibility, not just your own responsibility, for the responsibility of the whole team. So we trained real hard. I'll not mince words. I am very proud that we trained real hard, in the sense we were there in Khardungla top, we were there on Siachen, we were there Samureri, Pangong. So जहाँ difficult जगह में जा सकते थे, we went there. We used to have one army truck. उसके अंदर सारे जवान पीछे बैठे रहते थे. मैं को ड्राइवर सीट में बैठता था. पीछे टेंट डाले हैं, कुकिंग आइटम्स डाली है, राशन डाला है, एंड वी यूज्ड टू जस्ट मूव. जहाँ अच्छा लगा, अच्छी पहाड़ियाँ नजर आ रही हैं, उतरे, वहां पे टेंट लगाया, वाटर सोर्स देखा, एंड चढ़ना स्टार्ट कर दिया. 4-5 days, 1 week we used to stay there, pack up, next location. 1 year we just explored everywhere, and then once we reached Nepal, we were very confident. इतना कॉन्फिडेंस आ गया था कि we had this confidence कि जितना हम कर सकते थे उतना हमने किया. उसके बाद कुछ और बचता नहीं था. And then once you have this kind of confidence, then it was all about pushing yourself, because Everest में whatever you train, there are a lot of challenges which get thrown at you, because these kind of situations you have never been exposed. उनको आप कभी simulate नहीं कर सकते. इंडिया में कोई ऐसी पहाड़ नहीं है जो 8000 मीटर वाले हैं, तो जो वहां के चैलेंजेस हैं दोज आर ऑब्वियसली गोइंग टू बी देयर, बट इतना आपने ट्रेनिंग कर लिया था कि यू आर रेडी टू फेस दोस काइंड ऑफ चैलेंजेस. So once we started climbing, तो फिर there were rough patches. People, वहाँ पे तबीयत खराब हो गया था. But then since we were as a team supporting each other, there were a lot of camaraderie, there were a lot of spirit between each of us. We were there together for 1 year, so we all pulled each other जहाँ पे जिसका bad patch आता रहा. And that was the reason we were so successful. All 14 members could reach the summit, came back, no problems. कोई ऐसी प्रॉब्लम नहीं आई जिसकी वजह से हमें समिट कॉल ऑफ करना पड़े. सो गॉड हैज बीन very very kind and we could do that.
Sir, what kind of support does Indian Army give to any individual? Because I know there is something called Army Adventure Wing as well. So if somebody joins Army, so how does one get selected for these adventure things?
Right. So this is again interesting question, because a lot of people I interact with, they think कि सर आपने एवरेस्ट किया तो हमें भी करना चाहिए, मतलब through Army. Let me tell you, it's very very rare that you get an opportunity, because Indian Army ka everybody wants to do. You've got to be very lucky to get that opportunity, that's for sure. And other thing is a lot of hard work. So if you have done your courses, basic course kar rakha hai, advanced course, mountaineering ka, and rescue courses, so if you've done your courses, your chances are high. So it's all about how you pitch with other people. So luck plays a major role, your own hard work, and then God, if destiny is there, you should be able to do that. But then it's not that everybody who gets into the army would get an opportunity. I want to make one thing very clear.
Okay. Sir, what would be your suggestion if somebody wants to start these adventure things? So how should one start as a civilian, not by joining army? How does one start basically?
Sure.
It can be anything.
Right. So it depends upon what adventure you want to choose, be it land, sea, air. Different things are there. So if you want to do, let's say, mountaineering, I'll give you that example. First of all, check कि कोई भी expedition आपने करना है, so what do you want to do? I mean, what is the first step? Like you want to do expedition to any mountain, so you start with a basic level. Like you want to climb a 7,000 meter or Everest, let's say. So make a plan. कि इस साल I'll go till 3,000 meters. Next year I will go to 4,000 meters. ऐसे धीरे धीरे make a road map. And for that, check with other people, check with various mentors who are already in this field. You speak to 10 people, at least 8 will say yes, at least 4 will say yes. Okay? So everybody might not be able to help you because of their own commitment. Not blaming anyone, but then अपना वो रहता है, timelines रहता है. So approach them, find out, let's say you do a 3,000 meters, then there are various courses which are there. There are a lot of institutes of government which train you. There is a basic course, as I said, advanced course, which is there for everyone. It's not that ki civilian nahi kar sakte. Like my daughter, she has done an adventure course, which is for children who are 14 years old. So if you're 14 years, go for that adventure course. If you're older, go for basic mountaineering course. The various institutes, if you Google it, you'll be able to find it. And those are very reasonable.
Sir, since you are a paratrooper, आपने बहुत सारे एडवेंचर स्पोर्ट भी किए, माउंट एवरेस्ट भी चढ़े, तो ये सारी जो है काफी स्ट्रेसफुल एक्टिविटीज होते हैं. तो हाउ डू यू एक्चुअली हैंडल स्ट्रेस?
You meditate or कुछ है? Stressful. It's not actually stressful. These are de-stressing, I would say. जो stress अगर वैसे भी होता है, इनसे निकल जाता है. Yeah, some people might find them stressful, but then I generally found them. That's why I started running. Because running, I feel, is reduces your stress big time. If you're running, your focus is not on day-to-day issues. Your focus is on, breathing or that endorphin release which is there in your body once you're running. So if you do within limits and if you do scientifically, that's very, very beneficial. So only thing is don't overdo things. Generally लोग क्या करते हैं कि आज ही भागना है, आज ही बिल्कुल चैंपियन बनना होगा. That doesn't happen. Have patience, धीरे धीरे build up करो, scientific approach, right? So if you follow these things slowly, then it's, and as we said, don't take it as a punishment or don't take it as a thing which is going to pull you down. Take them, enjoy these things. जितना आप किसी चीज को enjoy करोगे, उतना ज़्यादा you will excel.
Sir, when I look at your journey, मेरे को दिखता है कि आपने काफी ज़्यादा hard work किया और आपको success मिला है. तो what according to you is basic meaning of success? And if say somebody fails, so how do someone handle failure आपके हिसाब से?
Frankly speaking, it is everybody fails. If I have also failed so many times, it's just that abhi I have been able to achieve something, so people are taking interviews. But then it's not that I have changed automatically. कुछ मंत्र पढ़ लिया है, कुछ ऐसा हो गया. I have also taken 26 years to reach here. So if you keep doing same thing for 26 years, एवरेज के आप तो चांद पे पहुंच सकते हो. इट्स जस्ट दैट पेशेंस होना चाहिए. अगर मेरे से भी कोई एकेडमी के 2 साल बाद बोलता कि आपने ये अचीव कर लिया, तो कहाँ किया? कुछ नहीं किया. इट्स जस्ट दैट आई केप्ट ऑन डूइंग द सेम थिंग, यू नो. मैंने अपनी तरफ से जारी रही, तो इसलिए फेलियर जो आते भी रहे, आई नेवर गॉट बॉग डाउन. अगर मैं वहीं पे बॉग डाउन हो जाता है कि यार हो गया, कुछ नहीं हो पा रहा, तो फिर तो कुछ अचीव ही नहीं कर पाते. इट्स जस्ट दैट फेलियर्स आते रहे, आई केप्ट ऑन पुशिंग. So that's where I've been able to achieve whatever little I could do. So that's the main reason. I think you keep moving ahead.
Okay. Sir, I also know that you have started a YouTube channel called Passion Talk. So if you could tell us what is it about, and probably my viewers can also go on and see those talks.
Sure.
So what exactly it is?
So in YouTube, if you search for a channel called Passion Talks, you meet a lot of people who are very passionate. So we don't have any particular topic on which we discuss. We meet people who are very positive in life and very, very normal people, just like you and me. But they have again pushed themselves away from the normal league. Like, you know, I'll give an example. We had a family which travels across Northeast or India in a Tata Nano. So they have a twins, 9-year-old के 2 daughters हैं, उनको कार में पीछे बिठाते हैं नानो में, and they keep traveling. रास्ते में सबको सिखाते रहते हैं कि, so their learning is not from books, their learning is based on, you know, experiences. गाड़ी में travel करके नई नई जगह जा रहे हैं. Like this Saturday, which is after tomorrow, I have called a person who is a principal and a director in a school. So that principal, he's unique because he's 50 plus, and then he runs marathons, and he has run Boston Marathon. और बच्चों को भी बहुत encourage करते हैं सर कि यार भागो, अच्छा रहता है. So it's not just पढ़ाई पढ़ाई पढ़ाई, जैसे आजकल स्कूल्स में यूजुअली थिंक किया बोर्ड में अच्छे मार्क्स आने चाहिए, और मार्क्स नहीं आए तो जिंदगी खराब हो. ही इज नॉट वन ऑफ दोस, एंड आई हैव बीन टू हिज स्कूल. इट्स अ ब्यूटीफुल स्कूल. उस स्कूल में ऐसा बोर्डिंग स्कूल है, वहां पे बच्चे सारे अपने आप खाना खाने आते हैं, ठीक है, वहीं काफी प्लेटें धोते हैं खाना खाने के बाद, और जहाँ डाइनिंग रूम में वहां चप्पल उतार के आएंगे. क्लासेस वहां कोई बेंच वगैरह नहीं है, जमीन पे बैठ के होती है. एंड I mean, it's a treat to be there, just to be there. Whole experience is ultimate. So we call such people there. We have had Olympians, जिसने इंडिया को ओलंपिक्स में रिप्रेजेंट किया था मैराथन रनिंग में. We have had people who have represented the country in ultra marathons. We have had people who have done Everest, and you know, such challenges. And these are very normal people who have got that aptitude to help others, sharing their journey. जो और लोगों को मोटिवेट करना चाहते हैं अपनी जर्नी से, because we realize COVID में there are people who are getting very, very negative. यार जिंदगी खत्म हो गई, आज तो कुछ नहीं हो सकता. So we thought we have this channel, and that's how we started this.
Yeah, got it, sir. So I hope even Patch Talks and even this video basically will inspire a lot of people. And so thank you, sir, for joining us in this interview. It was really nice talking to you and learning a lot of things from you. Jai Hind, sir.
Thank you so much, Akash. Really nice. All the best to all the viewers. You know, whatever you're doing in life, do it with passion, do it with josh. Don't worry about results. ठीक है, आपको अगर ये लग रहा है कि यार इसने इतना कर लिया, तो see your age, see my age. I'm sure if you keep pushing yourself, you will be getting whatever you want. I mean, it's not that आप मेहनत करोगे तो कुछ नहीं आएगा. You will get everything. Thank you, Akash, for